Hey guys, it's ArchieLuxury, ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury and the Paul Pluta channels. Today, guys, I want to talk about why I never want to be a watch dealer. It seems that everybody out there wants to be a sort of mini watch dealer. The Facebook watch forums are full of flippers who would sell their soul for the next horological trollop. That's correct. Flippers abound everywhere. There's nasty punters trying to buy watches, sell watches. It's all very aggressive. We've got the worst of the worst sort of people out there, and it's a vicious environment. So I thought today, guys, I'd make this video why I never want to be a watch dealer myself. And I gotta tell you, the big reason why I do not want to sell pre-owned watches is because I would have to tell the punters a whole stack of porkies. See, there's watches out there that I just can't stand. And there are also customers there who I can stand even less. And, you know, I've always prided myself on being very straightforward and to the point. And when I tell someone that he's a fucking moron, it doesn't go that well, particularly if I am in a commission type industry. So for myself, you know, I like to be a collector on the sidelines. And I got to tell you, there's a big difference between a collector who occasionally sells a watch compared to a business proprietor who's simply looking at making as much money as possible. A case in point is my recent acquisition of my Patek Philippe, the Grand Classique. And this was a piece that I picked up not so long ago. I got this from Sydney Watch Exchange. And I gotta tell you, in all honesty, I don't want to be a competitor to Sydney Watch Exchange. I would rather plug a handful of dealers around Australia and say, hey, these guys are pretty good to me. You go and sort your own deal. I'm not after a commission from anyone. All I want myself is to have my little humble collection, and I really want to enjoy pieces. This here is a case in point. So this is my Calatrava 5296. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's a beautiful piece. I recently just went to Singapore and bought new shoes. Shoes is what you call the strap. For this Patek. And I gotta tell you something. If I was a left it in the safe in the hotel room and not worn it. But when I was in Singapore, I wore it every day. And the strap, it's actually got my sweat and perspiration in it. It was a super glossy, which is kind of dulled a bit because it's been actively worn for my week in Singapore. So if I was a business person, I'd leave it in the safe. Don't touch it, don't wear it. But it's about the enjoyment. So of course I wore this watch. The other thing is that if I was actively selling and buying watches, I probably wouldn't have got this watch, because this came from a good dealer, Cove from Sydney Watch Exchange. If I was a competitor to him, he'd tell me to get stuffed and find your own bargains. He very nicely looked after me, because I send him customers and He's a cool guy. He's a really cool guy. I gotta be completely honest with you. I've just bought another Patek. I'm just in the process of getting... I'll tell you the deal. Basically, I sold my annual calendar for about $25,000. It would be about 5 years ago. I sold it. And what's happened to that market there? That's the Patek annual calendar. Well, that 37mm size has gotten a bit soft, okay? They were going for a big premium about 4 to 5 years ago, but they've kind of died down because Patek has made the 37mm watch a ladies' watch. And it's just a smidgen smaller. So they've released a number of other very exciting annual calendars. The 5146. The 5396, the 5205, to name but a few. Very gorgeous annual calendars. So anyhow, the person I sold it to, he said to me, "Hey, you know, Arch, I'm in between some real estate deals, and I'm not really wearing it," because I sold him a President with diamond dial. He said, "You know, I'd like to get something more usable." I think he wanted my Daytona, but I said, "Hey, I don't want to sell the Daytona." He sort of said, "Oh, okay," and we brokered a deal out. Now, he indicated a figure which is it was less than I'd sold it to him for, but since he's had it, it really needs a service now. Before it needed a service, now it really needs a service. So on that particular model, probably looking at, I reckon, 2.5 to 5, 2.5 to 5 for the service, because it's quite a complicated Patek. The service is about $2,000, polish $300. The crystal probably needs to be replaced. It's another $300 there. Dial and hands may need replacing. That model is susceptible to a bit of moisture coming in because of where the placement of the pusher holes on the side of the case. And anyhow, I brokered the deal. By the time I include airfares to fly down and pick this up, actually I've got to drop off. By the way, I've got to drop off my bluesy to Cove from Sydney Watch Exchange. He's very kindly said he'll fix me up straight away. Then I got to jump on a plane the same day, go down to Melbourne, pay the person for it, and then come back. By the time you factor in the servicing costs and this and that, there's probably not a lot of profit in it. But it's not about profit. Why am I doing it? Because I love the watch. I'm a crazy lunatic watch collector. I'm not doing this to sell it next week. In fact, I don't want to sell it ever again. The only reason I sold it was I had some serious financial concerns at the time. Those concerns have eased up, and I'd like to get my Patek back. Simple as that. I'd like to get my Patek Philippe back, and that's what I'm proceeding to do. The other reason I don't want to be a watch dealer is a financial one. To really do a watch business, and I've spoken to a number of dealers and collectors, and you might be impressed by my collection, my humble collection. It's probably what, 70,000-80,000 US dollars. That's just 110 Aussie dollars. But that's all I've got in life. That is all I've got. I don't own my own home. I've got an old car. Well, it's not that old, but it's high mileage, poor condition. I don't have anything else. My 401k is pretty pretty empty. So for me, I got to be honest with you, if you really want to do a watch business, I don't consider it unless you've got at least 250 to 300,000, not Aussie dollars, that's US dollars. American dollars. That's right. That's how much you'd need to start trading and doing the watch business. I'm not interested. I don't have that capital. I don't have that sort of money. That's what you need. That is what you need to be able to have a decent inventory for sale. Very, very tough. Very tough. The other big thing, I mean, I've got a nice, humble little collection there, but I don't really keep much at home. If you're a dealer, you're constantly surrounding yourself with expensive type items. And the downside is, what's the downside to that? Well, let me tell you what the downside is. It's bloody dangerous. I mean, in this world we live in, people are getting more and more aggressive. They want to steal your possessions that you have. They don't care whether you're a watch dealer who's working in single-digit margins. They just want to take your possessions. And that's one thing that's really worried me, is that if you're a little mini dealer, you got a couple pieces. Well, you'd have an AP, a Patek, a Rolex, a couple of Rolex sports. You could easily have $150,000 worth of stock on you. It's dangerous. You're really a target, a soft target. Probably, you know, you're in the business, you get things on consignment, but you're responsible for it. If it gets stolen or damaged or someone steals from you, you're fucked. And that's, the numbers are getting too big. You're really, it's a very dangerous game. Dealing in watches is hard because you attract, they're a very, very concealable item. You're very, very transportable. You gotta be damn careful. Years ago I sold a few things, and yes, I kind of did a little bit part-time, but you're always mindful. Oh, you gotta be careful. And I don't really want that security risk there. I'm not somebody who wants to be, taking huge risks like that to try and scratch out a living. What do you do when you've got someone wants to hurt you if you don't hand over? It's just a horrible, horrible situation. And I think that the industry is getting harder like that. It's there's dealers that have I know a few dealers who have had robberies and fraud and all sorts. It's a very, very tough component. Very, very tough. And I got to tell you, the other thing is, the main reason, you've got to remember this. If you turn a hobby into a job, okay, there's a saying. If you marry your mistress, she turns into your wife. It's all very well people saying, find the thing you love, then you'll be doing great, you'll be doing well. But then again, you turn your hobby into a business, you'll end up hating the fucking hobby. That's what'll happen, because you just get bummed out. You really get bummed out. If you have to make a living out of it, it's tough. It's tough. You look at it through a different perspective. And I got to tell you, the major reason why I do not ever want to be in the pre-owned wristwatch business, the main reason is most of the collectors there are fucking assholes. They are fucking assholes. And you can have somebody, I actually had a situation where a guy who's a huge fan of my channel, lovely guy, I sat down with him many times, we chewed the fat, talked watches. He was going to buy a watch. He wanted to buy a precious metal Rolex. And he found one through somebody I know. And then he starts lowballing. And I said, look, the dealer, he's not in bankruptcy. This dealer, he's not going to sell it to you thousands of dollars below his cost. If he doesn't sell it for a profit, why would he bother selling it? Oh, no, he should turn it over, do this. Well, hey, hang on a minute. Shut the fuck up. In your own business, if you sold things below cost, you'll go bankrupt. You think this dealer is any different? I mean, why does he want to accept your offer thousands of dollars below cost? And it's, he just justifies everything to himself. But it's, this is the thing. A lot of watch people are fucking jerks. They're real cunts. I don't know what it is, see, all the nicer guys, the beta soys, they're into other hobbies like woodworking, gardening, and, that's just humble, nice guys. See, the alpha males, they're cunts. Their eyes are bigger than their wallet. They're nickel and diming. They're slimy sons of bitches. And they're always looking at the next piece. And I gotta be honest with you, it's a vicious world. There's winners and fucking losers. For someone to win, someone has to lose. And this is the whole thing. The biggest reason why I never, ever, 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 ever want to sell wristwatches to the public is the customers are cunts. They are fucking cunts. And these are people I like. These are people who, if you're not selling to, they're really nice people. As soon as they get into a watch deal, they turn into fucking cunts. And I got to tell you, there's multiple friends. I got a good friend of mine, Glenn. He's done the... he helps me with the diet reboot. Okay, he gives me a few pointers. And Glenn's a lovely guy. He takes me out to lunch. We have chat. We talk watches. We chew the fat. It's really cool. You turn Glenn into a customer. I would never sell to Glenn. Glenn becomes a fucking asshole. You don't want to deal with Glenn. 50 million fucking questions. Tight as a fish's ass. I mean, the guy, I love the guy. I love him to death. But you don't want to sell to him. I got other friends, really cool guys. They're nice guys. I love them. I respect them. Turn it into a watch deal, and they think they're Donald Trump, the art of the deal, where they have all the aces, man. It's fucking hard. It's fucking hard. So I got to be completely honest to the point. I don't ever want to be in a situation where I have to be a watch dealer. I never ever want to be a watch dealer. Not only that, as soon as if I become a watch dealer, actively commercial business, buying and selling, all my friends like Ronnie, Cove, Shawnee, all these dealers, they're gonna say, oh, he's a competitor. So instead of being, hey, Paul, I'll look after you, yeah, I'll help you this and that, they're not gonna, if someone went into my space, I'd get a bit fucked off too. And I don't want to be in that space. I don't want to be in that space where I am selling watches. I'd much rather talk about the cunts that exist in the industry. That's much more enjoyable than selling fucking watches to fucking assholes. And this is the thing. Watches, they attract extreme alpha males. And the more expensive the watch, the bigger the fucking cunt. The bigger the fucking cunt. And I got so many people I know. Good people. Dave, I'd never want to be in business. Actually, Dave's not too bad. Dave's pretty cool. But I got other friends. Glenn, you don't want to sell to Glenn. Vlad, you don't want to fucking deal with Vlad. Vlad's Russian. I mean, fuck, I love the guy. I'd have a drink with him. I love him. But You'd never want to. He's not fucking loyal. You got Damien. Actually, I got a few Damiens. They're hard to deal with, man. They're hard to deal with. They would, it's. I don't want to be a competitor. I want to be, just talking about watches, and I love things that other people don't see the beauty in. I love my Pateks. People can say I don't give a fuck. I love my Patek Philippe, and I got to be honest with you. The biggest, nastiest cunts. They're more attracted to solid gold sports Rolex. They are fucking nasty sons of bitches. Nasty, nasty sons of bitches. And I had a property developer who came to me. His business went bust. And he wants to buy, this is when I had my gold sub, he wanted to buy that. I'm thinking, fuck, man. What about the people who've lost their house because of you? They didn't give a fuck. Didn't give a flying fuck. That's how it is, man. They're cunts. They're absolutely fucking ruthless cunts. And I at my age, I don't need to deal with cunts of that sort. So there you go, guys. That's why I never, ever want to be a watch dealer. Tell me what you miserable, nasty fuckers think of that.